Yo, it's me, Jeynick again, and today we're doing something a little different. Everyone knows this game. I'm playing a game of chess. I'm playing against the bot right now, so let's dive right into it. So I actually want to get my bishop out, so I will make a move. Alright, the bot is moving back, and as you can see, you can look into the past to see whatever moves are made. So yeah. That's good. And let's keep going. My plan was to get my bishop out, so let's actually get them out. Let's get one of my knights actually out. Let's do that. Alright, the bot's moving upon. Now what if I think that my knight shouldn't actually be here right now? What if we could send my knight to the past, so he could maybe help out on the past. He actually can. Okay, let's send the knight to the past and see what happens.
What?
Welcome to 5D chess.
5D chess is chess, but a little more complicated. It abides the rules of a regular game of chess with some added features. Where a regular game of chess has 3 dimensions, horizontal, vertical and height, although height doesn't really matter. 5D chess has, as you can guess, 5 dimensions: horizontal, vertical, height, time and realities. Time reflects upon the past, present and future of the game, while realities reflect upon alternate game boards time can create. I know, it all sounds pretty complicated. How does one travel between time and realities, you ask? Let's take the knight. Where in a regular game of chess a knight would move 2 dimensions up, 1 dimension to the right, the knight in 5D chess can choose to do the same. 2 dimensions up, 1 dimension in the past. Every piece has a different way of moving through dimensions. Let's get back to the game.
Okay, so now that we moved the knight to the past, it means that we have 3 knights on one board, but we're missing our knight from the actual present. So right now it's my turn and I need to make a move on this board. Now he actually took his knight out, so I am going to advance my plan that I was doing earlier, which is just advancing some pawns and getting my pieces out. So submit the move. So I'm going to move my knight back into the present, which we are actually in the present right now. We have 2 boards, and that means that we're playing 2 alternate games at the same time. Now I'm actually missing my knight in the first board, so let's actually send him back and see if we can do anything with that. So let's go. Alright, so as you can see, I made my move on this board, my knight disappeared, and now my knight has appeared back on the board where it was before. And I'm gonna submit my move and make the bot make a move. So there we go, he brought his knight out. Now I actually have a decent threat right now, which is... never mind, I don't actually have a decent threat right now. So he threatens my knight, I am going to fall back. Let's fall back. And now, because we have 2 alternate realities, we're playing 2 boards at the same time. I made my move on the first board, now we're going to the second board. And on the second board, I'm going to move my pawn forward. Right, so he took his knight out. That means that I can actually capture his knight, so here we go. We captured his knight, and that knight will be disappeared from the present, although it's still alive in the past, and that could mean that whenever we create an alternate reality, if we go back in time, that his knight will still be there on the next alternate reality which will open up. I know it all sounds pretty complicated, don't worry about it. Now let's play the second board, and I'll actually get my knight out of this board. Okay, so what happened here? he took his knight into the past, which I just explained, which means that his other knight that we captured the other turn actually starts appearing in this alternate timeline right here. And that means that he has right now 3 knights on his board here. He doesn't have any knights at all on his alternate present. So that means that he decides to give up on this board and push onto another board and try to fix the game. Now, I know you might question right now, how do you win the game? And how you win the game is you need to capture the king on any timeline. You just need to capture 1 king. And what that means is you need to corner a king and need to actually check him, like a normal game of chess. The king basically can't escape anymore, so it couldn't escape on any spaces in the neighborhood, or it actually can't escape to the past, which a king can. Now, every piece has a different set of movement that he can use to go to the past or to the present or to another board. And the king is pretty similar to what it can in a normal game of chess. It can just move 1 dimension in any direction. So let's actually continue this game. Now this is a huge advantage for me. As long as I survive on the top reality, I'll be golden on this reality since he doesn't have any knights and I didn't lose any pieces yet. So let's actually catch up with the present first, which is playing this board right here, and I will advance my pawn. Submit to move. Okay, so the bot isn't put on a great difficulty, so he actually captured my pawn. Now I will trade my pawn with the knight so that we stole another knight, and he actually moved his bishop up, and I know that I'm pretty much ahead on all boards because I have captured now I think multiple knights, I think 2 if I remember correctly, and a few pawns. I know I'm ahead, so maybe I'll start trading up some pieces so he can't send him to the past anymore. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put my knight to threaten both his knight and his bishop actually. So let's go ahead, and then for the next move I will fall back again, so I can maybe capture his pawn next turn. Submit to move. It's the bot's turn. So now the bot diligently plays all boards, and we can actually take our turn, which is actually 3 boards at the same time. I hope you're still following, and if not, don't worry, it's quite a complicated game. But that's the fun about it, so don't worry about it. Now, do I want to trade my knight with his knight on this reality, or do I just want to keep going?
Think, think.
Okay, let's actually trade. If I think, oh, maybe I actually wanted to trade the bishop, I can always undo and trade the bishop instead. So that means that I will check the king. He can just capture it with the pawn, but that's alright. Let's advance, and I will actually capture the pawn here as planned, if you remember that. And I will capture the pawn here, which is also a little according to plan. So let's actually do that. It can be captured back and submit to most. So he fixed his check by moving his king. Now that means that I can actually capture the bishop, or I can retreat and call it a day. Now I don't think I will retreat because, well, I can. If I move to the spot right here, then it means that I can be captured back, but I will just start trading since that will increase the game speed a little. Let's see, what should I do here? I am just going to capture his pawns 1 by 1, so I am going to fall back with his knight here in order to try. No, wait, because then the rook will actually capture my horse, so let's not do that. Let's try to do that, or let's try to actually get the other knight out. Let's do that instead. Now I'm just gonna play rather quickly for the sake of, well, kind of a tutorial video this is, but also do not bore you guys too much. I will actually capture the pawn right here.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Okay, now this is what happened here. I play 3 boards at the same time. Now, if you're playing 3 boards at the same time, you get pretty confused with where the pieces were before or where they are in another dimension. It's pretty complicated, and I actually forgot that my knight in the past wasn't guarded by any piece, so he actually took advantage of that and captured my knight. Now that's alright, because I actually will get this pawn instead, which still gets me something. So I basically traded 2 pawns for 1 knight, which isn't worth it, but you need to make the best out of it. Now there's a chance that he will trade this pawn back with his knight, but I don't really mind since he's already kind of winning on this board anyway, so let's just try to survive there. Now that he's winning on the board, let's actually try to win on our boards where we have the advantage. So let's see. In this board he doesn't have any knights anymore, but in this board he doesn't have any bishops, so we lost a knight. So what I'm gonna do, I am going to try to bring some pieces from the one board to the other board, and in order for me to do that I need to travel in between alternate realities. So I am going to take my trustworthy knight, I think, and I am going to shoot it over to the other reality. Now when I do this, it means that I play both boards, because I made a move on both boards. So I will just submit my moves and we are going to play the game further. Okay, now that he actually captured my knight on the middle reality with his bishop, that means that I can actually capture it with the knight that I just picked up from the other reality. So I basically guarded my knight by moving him through dimensions. I know, it sounds complicated. Let's advance a pawn actually. And then I need to play defensively on this one. Submit the move. Now that my queen is out here, it has a little more space to move in between dimensions. So let's actually see where our queen can go right now. I can send it all the way back to the past, or I can send it back to another reality or another reality in the past. So I have a lot of options right now. Now we already decided that our middle board is going to be the board that we actually want to play on, since we have the slight advantage on the board. So let's actually see if we can take it there. And we can. So I am going to take the queen and we're going to check their king. Good, so we made 2 moves now because we changed the position from the queen on this board and put it on this board. So we played 2 boards right now, 2 moves. Let's actually capture the pawn back. So we are even and submit the move. Okay, now what did he do? He got his knight and put it back to the past. And I don't know why he did that, because it was a really dumb move. But maybe he wanted to stall because his knight in the present is actually checked right now. Well, not. Wait, his knight, I'm gonna confuse myself. So his king in somewhere in the future, because the present is on the white line right now, so somewhere in the future his king is actually checked. Now he doesn't need to do anything about that until we moved up to that board. So I'm going to make a move on the alternate dimension that he just created by moving his knight over. And now he is going to have to deal with 2 checks, because I am going to capture this knight and check his king. So he's checked on this board and he's checked on this board. Now the game tells me I won. Alright, so I actually won the game now. It says white wins on the bottom left of the screen. Now why did I win? This is always exciting because sometimes you win the game and you don't even know how. So let's see how I won. There are 2 red exclamation points, so let's actually click one. So yeah, I actually checked his king and I checked it here too. Now why did I win, you ask? Because he can still move his king out of the way, so it wouldn't be checked anymore, and he could do the same for this. Now how did I win? If you look at this, you see a red arrow going all the way back to the board over here, which is how many turns? maybe about 4 turns ago. Now, what does that mean? And in order for us to know what that means, is I'm going to click the queen and I'm going to press the parallel view button, I think it's called. So here we go. Because pieces can move from dimension to dimension, if a piece moves from one dimension to another dimension and it ends up on a space where an enemy piece is, that means that the enemy piece will be captured. Just like in a normal game of chess, where you would go either vertically or horizontally, and then if you end up on a space with an enemy piece, then yeah, you will capture the piece. Now the same works for moving between dimensions. So here we go. The queen right here, I can move her up in other dimensions in the present, or I can move her back to the past. I can move her up, 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 and then she might end up on the spot right there, which is unfortunately the spot that the king is on. So I can actually move through pieces, but I'm actually moving through a whole another dimension. Now I end up on the space that the king is on, and because you're not allowed to move any pieces in the past, that means that the king will be captured in one go. Now this is very dangerous, and this is how you win most games, because if the king is unprotected in the past, that means that it can move and that you can capture it easier than normally. Now especially with the queen, we can move all the way back to, like, I don't know, 8 turns ago or whatever. It's a very dangerous game you're playing. So yeah, what's there more to explain? There's a lot more to explain. These are the basics of the game, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I think that is it for this video.